is Yehoshua. I'm making this video from Jerusalem. I'm a didactic scientist, and it comments upon Mr. Senator Menendez's interview. First, I want to say that before I was Yehoshua, I was Michael O'Donnell, and I am the last constituency place that I live was New Jersey. I'm going to first comment and say that having written you and my congressman, because the law is that my last legal address, I'm here 22 years, and the subject of a letter that was written recently was Isragate, and namely that when I moved here there was a very aggressive set of actions taken to grab hold of intellectual property of great strategic value to the U.S. I wrote and asked for help. Lautenberg turned out to be a complete bum, and I've written you, Senator Menendez, and you've done nothing also, and nor has my congressman from the 7th District. Okay, you know who he is. You fellows seem to think that you've got a Roman holiday. You get down to Washington and you're an arrogant bunch of pimsqueaks that don't have to do anything. The mail goes in the round lot file. Well, I got some news for you, fellow. Before I came up to Jerusalem a number of years ago, I can remember being offered, I'm 65 years old, and I can remember being offered by the kingmaker in New York politics, the fast track for the senator's seat that Hillary sits in, and I said, I don't want to be a congressman or a senator. Best decision I ever made. But I want to caution you and prepare you. There's going to be a set of developments in the future that the road to the White House leads through Jerusalem. And if you don't understand the metaphor, I'll make it very simple and specific. Again, I'll repeat my name because I know you're going to want to write it down and check up on things. My name is Yehoshua Yaakov ben Avraham, formerly Michael O'Donnell. I'm the author of Humanomics, the trilogy. That trilogy is comprised of two paradigms. The new cognitive behavioral science first principle, receiving to give, which is its central organizing principle, and the new economic paradigm. The new economic paradigm is the integration of labor. It replaces the division of labor. That's the strategic asset that the Israelis, when I came here, tried to grab from an American citizen. I acted to prevent that from happening, and I sought help. And I wrote, and I was a whistleblower, and I wrote to the White House and to Cheney, and the long and short, it was just before Bush's re-election, and Cheney summoned George Tenet. He subsequently fired him, and they conspired to prevent an Isragate hitting the public media to possibly damage the re-election. So they sold out an American citizen, an American patriot, and left them for dead on the battlefield, and this emboldened the Israelis. And let me make it very specific. When an American citizen goes to his president and his vice president and blows the whistle, and the prospective thieves, in this case the Israelis, see and hear that nothing is done, it's ignored for political reasons, it emboldens them, and I paid an exceedingly great price for that. Now, I don't hate George Bush because he's an ignorant moron, and he's a little boy in short pants. Well, Dick Cheney's been the president for the last 7 years. He's incompetent boob. And Scooter Libby and Dick Cheney, well, Cheney is a specious, between Halliburton and his contracts, pushing the contracts in Iraq for all of his cronies. I think they turned in 2007 a net profit of 3.5 billion on 15.3 billion in revenue. I think that's 22.87% net profit. That's about 46 gross. Nice work if you can get it. So we've got a mega parasite sucking the American treasury and spilling 4,000, the blood of 4,000 youths for economic gain. Well, we know that there's a big basket of snakes in the Congress and in the Senate. Now, Mr. Menendez, I want to give you some very basic advice. You better get off your ass, and you better start acting like you're a senator, or you won't be one for much longer. And you know, I've followed your specious background and Corazine appointing you and your seeking and securing office permanently. But that said, I'm entitled to a $500,000 reward for being so foolish as to stand up to the attempt to steal American intellectual property from an American business which I own, which was put out of business by it only cost me tens of millions of dollars. The Department of Justice has a program to reward such action. If I were you, and you got a brain in your head, which is a question yet to be proved, I would interdict. I would act on Mr. Michael O'Donnell's behalf, Yehoshua Yaakov ben Avraham, and see that is secured and provided. And if you don't, I'll do it anyway. I'm a supporter of Barack Obama. I saw, the psychopaths of the political system of New Jersey supporting like a bunch of monkeys Hillary Rodham. That's what the Clinton machinery pulled in New Jersey and in New York, and it's all falling down around your ears. Couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of psychopaths. Okay, let's get from the fantasy, the arrogance of politicians. You disgust me, the whole lot of you. You don't do a thing. You were worthless, a worthless lot. But maybe I'll be surprised. Okay, the bottom line is I stood up to the Israelis. It's called Isragate. I'm the author of the New Economic Paradigm. I'm the author of Humanomics, the trilogy. That's the East-West convergence model. And in case you haven't gleaned in between the lines and the white space, probably the most significant development in the last, make that the last millennium, is the collapse of the local reality. I'm the didactic scientist that first observed it 18 years ago. And the road to the White House and the transformation of the structure of the U.S. economy runs through Jerusalem in general, and this address where I sit in particular. And the specious performance of New Jersey senators and New Jersey congressmen in representing my interests as an American citizen. I last lived in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. I wrote you a letter, and I wrote the congressman, and I wrote previously, and it's been ignored, and it's going to come out in the public domain, and I can assure you, you clowns are not going to get reelected. And when it breaks into the public domain in its full force, you'll have an idea of the breadth and depth of the sophistication and complexity of what you're dealing with. And we're not going to put up with your arrogance, all of you. And I'm not talking, and this is not personal. You have a responsibility to your constituents. You haven't fulfilled it. So get off your ass and do it. And let's stop hearing these specious rhetoric and garbage about your being the vice president, and for President Hillary Rodham. What a joke. She's the biggest clown. My economic plan is national health insurance, some economic plan. Right. The new economic paradigm will be developed under the Obama administration. I'm its author. It'll create tens of millions of jobs. While clowns like you will sit on the sideline and go to school. Look, Mr. Menendez, you're a poor representation as a senator from New Jersey, but nonetheless, you're my senator. You better get off your ass. And if you don't, I'll help you. I'll help you get off your ass and get out of your seat so that you won't be sitting in it anymore. And that's not a threat, Hasa Shalom. It's a promise, and one I intend to keep. So the bottom line is you're going to find out. I may not have lived in 22 years, but I have family, and there are ways to proceed. Thank you for listening, and good luck. Shalom.